when I wanna be close to you. I know all I gotta do is call out your name and give you the praise. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'ma pray on my knees, 'cause you've been so good to me. By your grace, I am free. Now I shout out victory. Got a smile on my face, 'cause I finally found my place with you. God, when I pray, I know you're never far. You said nothing's hidden, so you know my heart. Each and every day I wanna be where you are, so I can grow bigger and I can grow stronger. When I pray, I am forever changed. I won't ever be the same. You lifted me up and healed all my pain. There's power in the name. I'ma pray on my knees, 'cause you've been so good to me. By your grace, I am free. Now I shout out victory. Got a smile on my face, 'cause I finally found my place with you. God, when I pray, I know you're never far. You said nothing's hidden, so you know my heart. Each and every day I wanna be where you are, so I can grow bigger and I can grow stronger. When I pray, I got blessings all around. I was lost, but now I'm found. You're always there for me. You got everything I need. You are everything. I'ma pray on my knees, 'cause you've been so good to me. By your grace, I am free. Now I shout out victory. Got a smile on my face, 'cause I finally found my place with you. God, when I pray, I know you're never far. You said nothing's hidden, so you know my heart. Each and every day I wanna be where you are, so I can grow bigger and I can grow stronger. When I pray, down on my knees I pray, call your name every day. I wanna be right where you are. Down on my knees I pray, call your name every day. I wanna be right where you are. God, when I pray, I know you're never far. You said nothing's hidden, so you know my heart. Each and every day I wanna be where you are, so I can grow bigger and I can grow stronger. When I pray, when I pray, when I pray.
Stories of the Bible. The fiery furnace. There once were 3 Jewish men named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Hey!
When they were very young, they were taken from Israel to live in a place called Babylon. At that time, the king of Babylon was a man named Nebuchadnezzar.
That's it. Almost there.
And he made a gold statue that was 90 feet tall.
Perfect.
The king sent a message for everyone to come to the dedication of his statue. When everyone had assembled, it was declared that people of all races, nations, and languages would bow before the statue and worship King Nebuchadnezzar's statue when they heard the sound of musical instruments. If anyone refused, they would be thrown into a fiery furnace. So at the sound of the musical instruments, all the people bowed to the ground and worshiped. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not because they were Jewish and would only bow to the one true God. Some of the wise men of Babylon went to the king and told him that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow to the statue.
What?
This made the king very angry, and he asked Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego if it was true that they would not bow to the statue. Then he said he would give them one more chance to bow down, and if they did not bow, they will be thrown into the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied that they didn't need to defend themselves against the king. They said, "If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. But even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up." The king was so angry with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that he commanded the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than usual. Then he ordered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be bound and thrown in the fire. The fire was so hot that it killed the soldiers that threw them in. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell into the flames. But suddenly, the king jumped up and said to his advisors, "Didn't we tie up 3 men and throw them in the furnace?" The advisors said, "Yes." But the king said, "Look, I see 4 men walking around the fire, and the 4th looks like a god." Then the king shouted to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, "Come out!" So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stepped out of the fire, and everyone saw that the fire had not touched them. They didn't even smell of smoke. Then Nebuchadnezzar praised the one true God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who had rescued them from the fire. And the king made a new command that anyone who spoke a word against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego would be greatly punished. Then he promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in his court. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego trusted in God and were willing to die rather than worship any god but their own God.
Hey, gotcha. Hey there, chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl. Welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl, where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Y'all, can you believe it? I'm here. I'm here at the zoo. Man, oh man, I couldn't be more happy. Guess what? I was walking out of the bathroom earlier, and boom! A peacock just walks right in front of me. Then guess what? I got to pet a koala bear. It was just sitting on the back of some park bench. It did turn out that it wasn't a koala bear at all. It was just me patting an old man's head, which I apologize like 1,000 times. But still, what an adventure! Anywho, I'm here at the bear exhibit. That's right, I've been learning about all the types of bears. Grizzly bears, polar bears, black bears, panda bears, gummy bears. Bears to me are just so fascinating. I mean, did you know that bears are better swimmers than you and me? I know, crazy, right? They could swim up to 30 miles without stopping. Next time, instead of going on a cruise, I'm just gonna rent a bear. Do you know that bears can see color? Most mammals can't. Oh, and here's another fact. Apparently bears like to live alone. Well, that's not a fun fact. That's not a fun fact at all. In fact, that's an unfun fact. It's a sad fact.
Whoa. What's wrong? Why are you crying?
They don't.
Okay, can you tell me one more time without crying so much?
Okay, I'll try, even though it's pretty much impossible. Okay, I'm here at the bear exhibit in the zoo, right?
Okay,
Well, they're pretty cool, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm having a good old time, and then I read that bears that they
What?
like to live alone. Oh, gosh. They don't deserve that.
Okay, so why is that making you upset?
Why do you think? Sorry, it's just so sad. Because they're just so cool and beautiful and well, I'm me, and what if I just end up living alone one day? It's just so upsetting.
Carl, that's never gonna happen.
How do you know?
Because we're never alone. Even if we don't have another human being around us, we're still not alone.
How does that even make sense?
Well, do you remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego?
I mean, I heard their names last week, but besides that, I have no idea.
Well, the three men were in Babylon, and King Nebuchadnezzar had this giant statue built.
Hold up. Why would he do that?
He built it so people could bow down and worship it.
Well, didn't King Nebuchadnezzar know that our God is the only God that you can worship?
Apparently not, because one day they told all the people that when the music starts, everyone was to bow down and worship the statue.
Well, did they?
They did. Everyone in the kingdom did what they were told to do, except for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Hey, I knew I liked those guys.
But when certain officials saw this, they got angry. They ran to the king and told the king that they refused to bow. And that made Nebuchadnezzar furious. He threatened the three men and he said this: "If you are ready to fall down and worship the image I made, very good. But if you do not worship it, you will be thrown immediately into a blazing furnace."
Psh, that's nothing.
Excuse me?
A fur nest? Why would they be afraid to be thrown in a fur nest? Just a nest made out of fur? That sounds delightful.
No, a furnace. It's a place where they would keep fire to burn things.
Oh no. What'd they do?
They refused to listen to the king and they said this: "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown out into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up."
Wow. I'm not sure how I feel about this. On one hand, I love their faith. On the other, I don't want to see these guys getting burned alive.
I know, but the king showed no mercy. He told them to make the furnace 7 times hotter than usual. And when the guards took the men and opened the door to put them in the furnace, it was so hot that they burnt up.
The guards burn up?
They sure did, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the fire.
Oh no.
Well, just wait, Carl. The officials peeked into the furnace and they saw something strange.
My cousin Stump was there?
No, the king and the officials saw that the 3 men were not being burnt up. In fact, they were walking around in the furnace, just walking around like nothing's happening. But then the king saw something even more shocking.
More shocking than 3 men walking around in a fire?
Yeah, they saw a 4th person in the fire.
Well, there's only 3 thrown in the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's it.
Exactly. That's why it's so shocking. And the thing is, this wasn't just any person. They said it looked like the Son of God.
Hold up. The Son of God? You mean to tell me that these people saw Jesus?
It could have been, or an angel. All we know for sure is that it was definitely somebody sent by God. Anyway, the 4th person showing up like that probably helped Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego know that they weren't alone. God was with them.
So the 4 of them hung out in the furnace without getting burnt? The end?
Of course not. So when the king and the officials saw inside the furnace, they couldn't believe it. They opened up the furnace and they let the 3 men out, and not one hair on their heads were burnt. They were completely fine. And then King Nebuchadnezzar did a complete 180.
Like a flip?
No, he changed his mind. He made it a rule in his kingdom that everyone would have to worship the one and only true God. He knew that only God could save people like that. And that same God is with all of us too. And that's why I want to encourage you to not be sad about the possibility of living alone. Because 1, it'll never happen. Because no matter how alone we feel, we can always trust that God is with us.
Always? Really? That seems, I don't know, impossible.
It is impossible for everyone but God. God promises to never leave us, and God will be with us even in the toughest and scariest times. I mean, if God was with these guys in a fiery furnace, God can be with us anywhere.
Wow, I guess you're right. I don't even know why I doubted that. I mean, even Jesus tells us that he's going to be with us to the very end of the age.
Exactly. Now, Carl, go and have some fun at the zoo.
You got it. I'm going to go make silly faces at the monkey now, so see ya!
Hey everybody, it's awesome seeing y'all. Now wasn't that story the coolest thing ever? I mean, how great is it that God protected Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Incredible! Anywho, that brings us to our big idea today, which is, I'm not alone. God is with me. So let's roar it out like a lion on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. I'm not alone. God is with me. Great job, kids. I really think... Oh, wow. Did you hear that? I think that was an elephant. Well, I think you guys are gonna have to come back next week and see what Carl's up to. All right? I'll see you kids next time on Grow TV.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Grow TV.